Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, April 26th, and I'm here. This week was a cranky week. I will talk about that more a little bit later. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is on my hobbies. Right now it's predominantly cross-stitching, maybe a little bit of cross-stitch finishing, but I do enjoy sewing, and I am starting to dip my toe into quilting. I also like to do paper crafting. I make greeting cards, gift tags, gift card holders, treat boxes, that kind of a thing. I really do enjoy it. In fact, I need to get back to that. I make birthday cards are so easy to make, and I make a bunch of them, and then I take some to work, and then that's what we give to people for their birthdays, or my handmade cards, and they really seem to like it. But I'm out. I have like one card left in my craft room, and I have one card left at the office, and the office manager told me, she's like, I don't like it. Like, what do you mean you don't like it? It's so cute. But I don't care, really. We will replace it with new, but it's, when do I have the time? Anyways, if you're coming back, thank you. I do appreciate when you return to see what I've been up to. This week was a little odd for me. Nothing was out of the ordinary. We did do a parent orientation at work that we haven't done before. But other than that, it went pretty well, but I had some really bad days. I was cranky, and my family was laughing at me, and my husband was so sweet because he, I got up one morning and the cats had already been fed. So I texted him, I'm like, did you feed the cats? He's like, yes, I did. And I'm like, oh, thank you. It was just little things like that he would do for me. And I don't want to say tippy toe around me, but they kind of did, because I was that cranky, and I have no idea why. It just was one of those weeks. And what made me feel better is I had to work late. What day did I work late? Was it Tuesday? I was there a little bit late. I was there one day a little bit late, and I said, I'm coming in later. I'm not going to work a 12-hour day. I'm just going to come in later. I'll work a 10-hour day, because that's so much better. So I went to Hobby Lobby. I think I've talked about it before, where I've moved into a new office, and I'm all by myself in this office, and I love it. I'm getting a lot of work done, but I had this huge blank wall on one side of my office. I have another wall that has a big blank spot as well, but there's something that we're going to be putting there, where my friends are making it for me at work. But my boss is like, I'm going to put some artwork up, but I'm going to wait until my office gets painted. And I'm like, artwork? We could put up artwork? She's like, sure, do what you want. So I went and I bought a picture a week ago, Saturday, I guess it was. And I looked at other pictures, and I hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed and hemmed and hawed. And all of the spring shop stuff at Hobby Lobby is 40% off, and that includes artwork, spring shop artwork. So I thought about it, and on that day, I think it was Thursday, I went and I did some shopping. And I bought one more picture and a little shelf, and then I had a basket here that I brought in to put on the wall. And then I bought a couple things for the shelf. So the whole wall display was less than $100. I have a Highland cow, and they laugh at me at work. They're like, really, a Highland cow? And I'm like, I love them. They're so cute. So I have a Highland cow. I have a really pretty picture of flowers with a bee, but it's like black and white. I'll insert a picture so you can see it. And then I have a six-sided shelf that I have a really pretty frame, and a bird, a ceramic bird on top of it. And then I have my basket. Um, and as I was sitting here contemplating what I'm going to put on my walls, I thought, I have a lot of cross stitch. So I've got a piece that I've been working on. I think I talked about it last week that I would be working on that a little bit more and working to finish it so I can frame it and get it up on the wall at work because it's perfect. It's Happy Camper by the Blue Flower. And I found another one. I remembered I had a book, and I'll talk about it here, that had some very cool like letterpress cross stitch designs, and I found a couple in there that I really like the looks of. So I think I'm gonna make at least one of those. I think I'm gonna do one of the spring charts. I think I'm gonna do this one and hang it up as well because it's kind of nature-ish. And this one might make it up there too because it's very cool looking. And I have the other floral etchings as well. Floral etchings. I don't have floral etchings too. But it might be nice to do maybe even all three, get the floral etchings too and work them up and hang them up because I do have a lot of space to hang up. And what it did is it helped to keep the echo down. Like people would walk in, they'd start talking and they'd be like, wow, it's really echoey in here. And even when I'd answer the phone, I could talk and it bothered me. With the stuff on the wall, it really, really helped. And it looks really cute. So that's what I did. And that's actually what made me happy this week. Maybe it's the fact that I did the whole wall for less than $100, or maybe I just needed some shopping therapy. I don't know. But it was an odd week, oddly cranky. Stitching wasn't going really well. I don't want to say I lost my Stitchy Mojo because I really didn't. But Thursday when I came home from work, I put floss on floss drops instead of stitching. Had to be done. I just was tired and I just didn't feel like stitching. And my husband had the light off and he was watching a movie, and I thought, I can turn on this little light over here and I can do this and be just fine. And so that's what I did. I do have quite a bit of haul that came in, and no finishes, but a close finish. I tried. If I had stayed up probably a half an hour longer, I probably would have gotten the Summer Quaker by Primrose Cottage done. But I had to get up at 5 this morning to be at work to do an all camp cleanup that we did in the rain. So I needed to get to bed. I wanted to get to bed because I didn't want to run myself ragged. I'm just now starting to feel better. Like this is the second week where I feel better, and actually I kind of feel like I slipped a little bit into a relapse from 2 weekends ago when we were on our retreat. But so I did want to go into today with at least 6 hours of sleep, and I pretty much did, so that was good. It was cold, it was wet. I did not hear any parents complain about wanting to call it off. A couple of our teens might have, but I don't really care what they think because we're here to do a job and we're going to do it. And honestly, when does it rain for longer than 20 minutes here in Southern California? The answer would be today. Today. From 8:30 until about 11. It rained. We did get out in the rain. We did make some progress. It looks really, really good in camp right now. We call it all camp cleanup, and what we're doing is we're like weeding, pulling out invasive species of plants, getting things ready for summer. basically, and our end of the year ceremonial. So that's kind of why we do it. Usually it's 1,000 degrees out. Today it was 60 and wet. And then we brought out one of those jugs. It's about half the size of the ones that they put on the football fields and fill with Gatorade. It's a small one. I was able to manage it all by myself, full. But I took the top off and then decided to move it to dump it out, and I got ice cold water all over me. So that was fun. I mean, I was already wet, kind of, but yeah. There was an injured, double crested, I forgot the name already. Double crested cormorant bird that they found in the shrubbery, and so I figured out who to call. Once we figured out it was a protected species, I went ahead and I figured out who to call. Luckily, it didn't take me very long, and luckily for being like 9:15 in the morning, someone picked up. And so I explained what we were doing, where we were, what we were looking at. It was a very sweet bird. I was able to approach it, and it was in the understory under some trees, and so I was able to pull some of the branches that it looked like it was kind of hung up on out from underneath its wings, but it still was not doing well. I didn't see any sign of broken wings or broken legs or blood, although we do have a hawk or two that live in camp, and they were very active today. So I don't know if they spotted it or if they took it down. So animal control came actually really, really quickly. I was very pleased and got the bird, and they were telling me, like, do you know anything about the bird? I said only that it's a protected species and it's beautiful. And I'll insert a couple pictures so you can see it. And he's like, well, they fish in the ocean. And I was like, oh. He's like, they dive down like a pelican, but their beaks are long and pointy, and they stab their fish that way. And I'm like, oh, okay. But here in California, for some reason, we are having a large algae bloom. It happens from time to time, and then that's when you start seeing water life kind of washing up on the shores. So we've had some beached whales this past week, some sea lions, pelicans are affected by this, because the animals that eat the algae get eaten, and then everybody on the food chain gets sick. And I'm like, and there's a reason why I don't eat a lot of fish. So we're thinking that might be it. But he took it away, and hopefully they're able to save it and fix whatever's wrong with it and get it back into the wild. But he was a beautiful bird. I've never seen one like it before, at least up close. And so that was a treat and kind of sad all at the same time. So yeah, all that happening in the rain. So yeah, it's okay. Stitching, shall we get to it? I have a new start. I find that when I'm, cranky or anxious or feeling like I'm losing my stitching mojo just a little bit, I tend to either kit things up or, or I start a new project. So I started Strawberry Quilt by Primrose Cottage. I am using the called for flosses and the called for fabric. The called for fabric is 32 count berry smoothie, Lugana, These are the called for flosses. And oh, this is where I got. So I started it in the middle, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more white flowers to stitch, and then I can do the centers, and then the rest, and then I've got the pink, the light pink pieces between it. I'll do that, and then it'll just be strawberries. But this took an evening. It worked up really, really quickly, so I think this can be a really quick finish, and it might, maybe I can get it done. Strawberries are really popular right now, and I'd love to have like a strawberry display on a tiered tray, and include this on the display. So that is the goal. I found that I was getting I was twisting the fabric because there's no selvage. So I just put in a couple of stitches up at the top so that I would orient my fabric correctly, because I had to take out a little bit. And that made me cranky. You stitch a flower and then you're like, awesome, to get to take it all out. This fabric, I thought, oh, I have other pink fabric, but I decided, for the price that this was, and I don't remember what the price was, but it's cut for this. I thought I'll try it. The pink is pretty darn perfect, and I have a lot of pink fabric, but this one is just a really nice fabric. So I did some work on that, got that going. Okay. Sorry. Decided to blow my nose. Friday focus is Summer Quaker. For those of you that are new, my Friday focus is a piece that I pick that's at least 50% done. It can be a small, it can be a Quaker, a sampler, anything. And I work on it every Friday until it's done. That way it gets dedicated time once a week until it's done. I was able to get quite a few finishes last year by doing this. And I've already had 1 or 2 finishes this year. And this is the one that I worked on yesterday because, it's a Friday focus. Yesterday was Friday. And I didn't quite get it done. I am stitching this on the called for, which is 25 count. Actually, I think they stitched on 28 count, but they sold 25 count Lugana in white. And here we go. It is stitched with Dinky Dyes in the color Saffron. So it's a beautiful yellow with a really pretty variegation. And literally the only thing I have left to do is to finish filling in this section and add the antenna for the dragonfly, and it's done. I did start it in 2024, and I did stitch the 2024 in 2024. So I'm going to leave that, and then on the back of the pillow or the top corner, I will put a 2025 charm to know that I fully finished it in 2025. But I just couldn't get it across the finish line. So close. So I think what I'll do is I'll work on it tonight and I'll finish it. Also, I got, I didn't bring it out here, but I did an order, and I ordered the Whisper thread in white to finish the Grandma's Candy Dish by Brenda Gervais. So that's just a few stitches. So I think I'm going to work on that tonight and this one tonight, just get those done. This is the Dinky Dye Floss. You can see the variegation. It's just real pretty, a really pretty yellow. And I bought the finishing kit, which had the Dinky Dye Floss. You needed 2 skeins, and it gave the background fabric, a finishing trim, and the wool felt square to put on the back of the pillow where you cut it to stuff it. It will be nice to get this across the finish line because I'm starting some stuff. I kind of felt like working on smalls this week. And I have several that are really close to being finished. This is another one. Seaside Tiny Town. I am a little bit more than halfway done on this one. I am using the called for flosses. Lots of classic colorworks. But I'm stitching this one on 32 count Polar Plunge by Fabrics by Stephanie. I just thought the blue background would be nice, like a blue sky near, like, you know, at the beach type of a thing, because this looks like a little seaside community. And there we go. I think what partly made me cranky is that every time I sat down to stitch, I wasn't getting very much done. So I worked on the White House, and I stitched the roof and the inside of the windows and the inside of the door and the door handle, and that's all I got done the whole day. I do plan on finishing this into a drum, so I'm kind of excited for that. It'll be my first drum finish, probably. I think it's really pretty. It will be nice to get a tiny town done. And I have quite a few of her tiny towns. I'm not sure what I will start next. I probably should start the patriotic one because we are getting into that season here. I had ordered Ladybug Picnic, but for some reason I decided I wanted to start with the Botanical Bee. I ordered the fabric for both at the same time, thinking I would stitch them kind of simultaneously, and I just decided to start with the bee. The bee came out first, get it done, then work on Ladybug. So I pulled this one out. I am stitching this on the called for, which is 32 count Juniper Linen by Fabrics by Stephanie. I think that's, yeah. I do plan on finishing this in a circle. I don't think I'm going to finish it as an ornament. I think I'm going to look on Chantel's 141 Design Company to see if she's got a finish that this would look good on, and then buy one for this one and buy one for the Ladybug. So I'm almost done with the bee body. I just have a few stitches to do, and then I have some straight stitches to do. I added the bee skeps. I think I have a couple more stitches to go up here. I just ran out of time and floss on my needle. So I just need to add the wings and the flowers and then little bees, and then backstitch everything, and it'll be done. But it's beautiful. The colors on this fabric are just really nice, and I think when you get a smaller amount of the blue, not so much of it, I think it's gonna look just really, really cute. So I'm excited to get this one done. And then I can move on to Ladybug Picnic, and I can finish both of them. Fully finish both of them. I am using called for flosses. Is that one called for? Which must be these. I tell ya. Okay, I pulled out Happy Camper, and I spent some time frogging on this one, and I will show you what I did. Happy Campers by the Blue Flower. This is the one I want to kind of spend some time on and finish to get it up in my office at work. But the sky up here in this picture, it looks very blue, but the color that it called for was Cadet by Weeks Dye Works, and it was definitely more green. It did not look like a night sky to me. So I didn't have this whole section done. I had stopped after one skein of, one strand of thread. I picked it all out. It took me all morning. I give myself like 30 to 45 minutes of stitching time most mornings, and I spent all that time stitching it out, and then another 45 minutes in the afternoon when I got home stitching it out. But I did make a decision. I think I'm going to stitch the night sky with Classic Colorworks Blue Corn. It's dark enough, I think, that it will look really, really nice as far as being a night sky. And I think it complements the colors really well. I don't think it is overbearing on the colors. And it's different enough from the gray that you'll be able to see a difference. So this is the called for. I'm going to put this on the whiteboard here. This was the called for, and I'm switching it to this. And I think I'm going to be really happy with it. Did I continue stitching that once I picked it out? No, because I was cranky by that time. So I stitched something else. And it was the fire. And I missed a color. I wonder if that's what I ordered. What color is that? Sweet potato. I think I have it. I just didn't want to come out here to get it. So I finished, I almost finished the campfire, and I brought the brown up here a little bit, and then I still have more brown to do. So I'm going to start working across here. Then I'll probably come back and I'll fill in this one, and then there's like a butterfly or a moth here, and I'll just continue to work my way through the chart. I think it's going to be really cute when it's done. So I'm very excited about that. I am stitching this one on 40 count chocolate milk linen by Fabrics by Stephanie. I'm stitching at 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads. I had somebody ask, could I please say what I'm stitching on? I used to. I don't know why I got out of the habit for doing that, so I will try to be better. As a rule of thumb, anything 36 count or higher, like 40, 46, haven't done 52 yet, I stitch 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads. 32 and under, I do 2 strands of floss over 2 linen threads, or 1 Aida square, or 2 Lugana threads, even weave threads. That's just the standard rule, or the guidelines that I go by. However, there is one piece that I did on 36 count, and I started it 2 by 2 because the holes seemed like they could accommodate that, and I just kind of spaced when I started it, and I didn't want to take it out because I liked the coverage and the chunkiness of the stitches. So I'm probably gonna run out of floss on that one, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. Anyways, so cute. I love the animals. I love the camping theme. When the kids were growing up, we went camping all the time. We had a like a timeshare type thing at a campground. We would go there several times during the year, usually several times during the summer, even if it was just for like a 3-day weekend. Kids loved it. It was a little getaway without being, really far away. So it was lovely. This chart I found surprisingly fun. I figured I would enjoy stitching it. I was a little concerned that I thought it would be boring and that I would be stitching the same things over and over and over again. Really, you don't. Can't find the front cover. I am stitching 324 Works by ABC. This is a piece where each motif is stitched by one color of DMC, and there's 324 colors used. So I moved this along as far as I could until I ran out of floss. So I brought my piece out here, and I went through all of my DMC that I don't have in a kit. I'm sure some of the colors I did have in a kit, but I wasn't going to, go through a very large number of whips to find it, when a skein of floss at Hobby Lobby is 53 cents, and I'll probably use it anyways. So I got as far as I could go, and then when I went shopping on Thursday, I picked up $20 worth of DMC. But this is how far I got. So I got enough now that I'll probably get down, here, and I'll probably get a good third of it done. I have enough that I'm getting into the purples. Not quite the blues yet, but definitely through the pinks and into the purples. I am stitching this on 40 count optical white linen. And it's beautiful. This one may wind up in my office at work too. And here's all the colors that I bought. Are they pretty? I know, ridiculous, but if you need them, you need them. I don't have stitchy friends that I can just say, hey, give me, a section of, 918. And I do want one of every color. And this is just a nice way to do it. I haven't bought all of them. I will stitch until these are all gone, and then I'll come out here and I'll put on the ring what colors I have here, and then as I go along, I will stitch them, and then I'll fill in. So this will last me a few weeks, probably 2 or 3 stitchy sessions, I would guess. What I am doing to keep track of this, I made a copy of their placement page. So what I'm doing is when I finish a color, I'm highlighting it. And then on the motif, on the chart itself with the motif, I don't really want to show a whole lot. But what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little piece of tape on the motif when it's done so I don't lose my place. I found very quickly that I was losing my place and I didn't want to mess up the spacing or stitch a motif that wasn't supposed to be where I stitched it, you know, like get off somehow, like stitch this one here and then this one here. I mean, that could be disastrous, right? So I just decide I was just gonna, every motif I stop what I'm doing, I highlight here and I put a little piece of tape, highlighter tape on the actual chart. I love it. It is so pretty. I have no idea what kind of frame I'm going to put it in. We will see when it gets all done. It is, I'm very surprised actually. I knew I would enjoy it, but I didn't realize I would enjoy it this much. Like, I totally see this being a finish this year, before the end of the year. I love color though. I like, what's your favorite color? I don't know. I don't know that I have one. I like all the colors. So, that's where I get stumped. Okay, I'm going to go way back in my files here. Way, way back. I have the Cottage of the Month charts. And I got into, you know, my mood, and I was thumbing through my whips and I pulled it out and I'm like, these could work up so quickly. Finish them. So I pulled out, I'm on February. Now I do have other ones ready to go, like they're all done, and I love them when they're done. I think my problem was that the fabric that I originally started stitching them on was a, oh, it's still, is it the same? It was Clay Barn by Witchelt, and I didn't like it. It does kind of chew up my threads, so I think I switched fabric midway. I couldn't tell you what it is. Maybe it was just this one that I stitched on a different fabric. So anyway, so I went back to February and I picked it up. And I made quite a bit of progress. I finished the pink on the house. I added the brown color for the pots and the door and the roof and the inside of the windows. I added the white on the top. I did the grass underneath, and I started doing the plants on the, the plants on the side over here. So then I was thinking, okay, if Friday Focus works really well for you, why don't you make this the morning stitch? This series, the morning stitch, until it's done. Because it's been since 2020. I've had this series going, maybe 2021. I have a finishing board that I think these will fit on. I know exactly where I'm going to put it. Switch them out every month. It's going to be fantastic. I just need to get them done. You know, do you get to that point where you feel like I need to get these all done? All of the fabric is cut, ready to go. I have to do March and April. Oops, sorry. And May, November, December, and January. Like, why are these not being done? Look at all the floss it's keeping up, you know, tied up. All the called for colors. When I started this, I didn't really want to swap colors or substitute. But look at all these colors that's just kind of languishing. So did I pull this out at all any morning this week? No. But I think I'm going to, just to see, maybe I'll do that starting next week and go through the end of May just to see how far I can get in a month. Can I get April done and March done in a month? Maybe. It would be fun to see. And then if that's the case, then maybe 1 month I just focus on one of them and until they're done. Okay. Haul. Okay. I picked this up through Nashville Needlework Market. I ordered the fabric, 20 count milk chocolate linen, a whole yard of 20 count milk chocolate linen. Wow, don't know what I'm gonna do with a whole yard of 20 count, but I will figure it out. And I wanted to use the pearl cotton. I have never stitched with pearl cotton before. So I ordered it, and it came in. So all the colors are here. I'm very excited to get going on this. So I think I'm going to start it. That's what it's going to look like as a stitched piece. Finishing this, I know it's going to finish big. It's like 10 inches long. I am seriously leaning towards, instead of finishing it like a berry, like a strawberry, I think I'm going to finish it like a carrot and do fabric or felt carrot greens on the top. We'll see when it's time and I get there what I feel like doing, but that right now is the thought. Okay, in addition to Happy Campers, I, a long time ago, purchased this book. I got it off of Amazon. If I haven't done so already, I will make sure that I link this in the Amazon, in my Amazon shop. The link to that shop is in the description box below. But our theme is like really just unplugging. We make our teenagers at work put their cell phones in a cell phone box from the minute they walk in, and they are device free for the time that they're with us, whether that's 6 hours of camp, whether that's 6 days of overnight camp, whether that's a 2-hour meeting, it doesn't matter. And if we forget to bring the cell phone box out, they go into the office and they get it and bring it out and tell everybody to put their phones in the box. So, and then our t-shirt theme this year, it's a green shirt and it's just going to say less screen, more green. So that's kind of been like what we talk about a lot. So I thought, how cute is this one? Unplug and go outside. And I think it would be really cute on my wall. So I picked up the colors for it. I had some, and then I picked up the ones that I was missing. Really pretty colors. Now all I need to do is decide on a fabric size and finish kitting it up, and I will start this one too. I ordered, okay, another thing I do when I get a little cranky, I order floss And I forget for what project. I have no idea, but here it is. And I think this is all for one project. I will figure it out, but I'm ready once I do. I picked up at Hobby Lobby some of these pins. They did not have the clover pins. This is for, I'm doing the spring mingle with Lindy's Stitches, and I'm taking the hands-on design class, and it's to make a little pin cushion, like a square pin cushion. Chart, like, I mean, stitched piece. Words. Been up since 5. But she made her own pins out of perforated paper, but you need these to put and attach to the perforated paper. So I picked up these from Hobby Lobby. I think they're probably the same size as the clover. If not, I will order the clover, but I thought, let's have those on hand. And then I did pick up the perforated paper, and it is 18 count Mill Hill perforated paper. It does not give me a... It doesn't give me a size. But it was under the 18 count, and so that's what I'm sticking with. 2 sheets of paper was like $13, so it's not super cheap, especially when you're only using this much to make a little pin for your pin cushion. But you can use this for lots of different things. You can use it for Mill Hill ornaments and that kind of thing. Because I am addicted to Primrose Cottage Quakers, and now they're stitching quilts, I had to get the stitching Quaker. And the stitching quilt. They're just so adorable. And I also wanted to get the stitching quilt finishing kit, and it came with the pins on the bottom. I don't think I ordered those. I might have. I don't know. I don't remember. This is this purchase that I did in the middle of the night. I was having a hard time sleeping, so I watched a video, and I'm like, oh, yes, and I started shopping. So, again, the backing fabric, the felt piece, and the trim by Lady Dot Creates, and then the pins for that one. And then Stitching Quaker, it's opposite. So these are here, ready to be kitted. I did not buy the floss because I didn't want to spend $40 on the floss. I mean, I had done a little bit of shopping, so I did not want to do any more. So what I did do, I'm gonna have to pull from my stash, DMC or an over dyed, and try to get the colors close. And I'm gonna go with a smaller count fabric. The Quaker, again, is stitched on 28 count light ash gray. I don't want it to be this big, so I'm gonna stitch it smaller. At least a 36 count, if not a 40 count. Probably 36 would be my guess. Just because, like the summer one, it's really big. I don't want the pillow to be that big. I also picked up and treated myself to the Stitcher's Journal. I have never done a daily journal or a Stitcher's Journal before, and I really liked this one for a number of reasons. First off, the months, you can start whenever you want. So I think I'm going to start this in May. You put the, the month, the numbers, like the days of the week, and the, 1st through the 31st. And then the notes, goals for the month. And the nice thing about it is that this chart here on the back, there are excerpts from this chart that she included in the book that you can stitch. Some of them make perfect sense. Some of them it's like, oh, that could be a really good stitch. And some of them it's like just the upper corner and part of a floral motif. So I don't know if I'm going to stitch everything in here. But there's enough that I could have fun with it for sure. So I thought I'd give it a try and see how that goes. And I think that that's it. I did order a frame for Eliza's birds, 1849. One of you said that 7x9 frames would be perfect for it, because a 7x5 is too, like, the bird tails on either side got cut off. So I went onto Amazon and I found one, not super cheap. I mean, it's $20, but or $25. I think it's a tabletop frame, which, but I love it. It's like, it's gold and it looks to me like bird feathers. So that actually, it was attempted to be delivered yesterday after my husband left work. So I'm hoping that it gets delivered today. So next week I should have that fully finished. What else do I have coming? I think that's it. I don't think I ordered anything else. I think I'm going to try, aside from, I am probably going to eat my words. Primrose Cottage is coming out with their a new release next week, and it's patriotic. However, when is the last day of the month? If it's on their day, no, they do their, okay. I'm going to try to not buy any crafting supplies in the month of May. I do have my Floss Fix and my Weeks Dye Works and my Classic Color Works floss subscriptions. They come, so I won't stop those because I want to get the complete set. But I think I'm gonna try not to buy any crafting supplies in the month of May. Wish me luck. I say that now because I feel strong today. And then someone will come out with something and I'll be like, oh my God, I have to have it. Anyways, I think that that's it for me today. Thank you. If you've hung in there this long, all my craziness, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, take a minute and hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, share the video, like the video, comment on the video. I do read the comments. I do respond. I try to respond within the week. I do try to post every weekend. So there's a pretty good chance you'll at least get a heart emote, like a heart acknowledgement from me, if not an actual comment reply. And I do get a kick out of reading your comments, and I love hearing what you're working on. I love answering any questions you have, at least to the best of my ability. So it's a lot of fun for me. I think that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. The rain should be past us here now. It does look like we have a rain cloud out there, but also a ton of blue sky and sun. It's going to warm up next week, and the next weekend it's going to be chilly. So hopefully we will enjoy some sunshine and some warmer weather, and hopefully it will eventually be here to stay for a little bit. I just am waiting patiently. oh so patiently for summer. Um, I think that's it. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.